How you doing?
Doing just fine. Stan,
How's the weather in the upcountry?
it's nice today. Beautiful
Yeah,
day.
think it's going to cool off though.
Yes, I know that. We're supposed to, we might dip under 40 degrees this weekend.
Oh, woo!
I don't know. That's what our extension agent told us that we might better be careful about frost.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
Hi,
Lewis.
Governor.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Hello,
Hi,
Judy.
Judy. I see you guys were together last night for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're going overboard. I think.
Yeah, when did you get off that call, Spencer? Because I had to leave after 7.
It's till a little after 7:30.
Yeah, it's about half an hour I missed. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't miss a lot.
No, I didn't think I was going to.
Yeah. I got an early warning system for weather out in western Nebraska, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah, a fellow Rotarian out there that I've been on several mission trips with, and I looked at his forecast for this coming 7 days.
Yeah,
He's below freezing every night,
yeah, good for him. That's why I'm out here instead of Nebraska.
down into the 20s.
And the
towards
only
end
good
of
thing I can say about Nebraska is got real good beef
That's true, and corn if you like that,
and corn. Yeah,
and people. It's like being in Canada. They're so nice.
yeah, yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
How are you, Judy? Whoops, she froze.
She froze.
I talked to her, and it's a lot of people like that in my life. I talk to them, they freeze up.
Might have lost her connection or something.
My microphone can't tell what it's picking up, but it's I notice even on these big calls, it's with a lot of people, it's highlighted like it's picking up sound. I tried to adjust it earlier, so
Well, I
Mhm.
hear you fine.
Yeah.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello, how's everybody?
Good. Looking forward to visiting your club tomorrow.
Oh, we're looking forward to it too.
Well, don't
What
get
she's
too
got
excited.
going on tomorrow.
Hey, Judy, where are you at? You said you were traveling.
Oh, everywhere from
Everywhere.
DMComm. Can you hear me speaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's better. uh, I do a lot of traveling, not far away. MC, big time areas.
Okay.
But that's ending soon. I'll be finishing up soon. So
Okay.
that'll give me more time to spend on other things.
I got you logged into here twice, Judy. Are you
Yeah, I
on
see
the
your
phone
name popped
also?
up on another square here.
Okay.
She's
Normally,
special.
the last time you had difficulty hearing me. So
Okay.
I thought I would have my laptop and my computer on to see which one you could hear. So you
Okay.
can hear better?
Okay. Say something again. I muted one of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
What are we going to do?
I can hear that. I'm gonna. Whoops. That was Spencer. I muted. Judy keeps moving around on me.
Mute me.
Okay. As soon as
Hold
people
on.
stop joining, I can find. I have one of your systems muted, so I can hear you on the other one.
I can hear you on both. Wait, just
One of them isn't showing video.
let me just go.
Hey, Frank,
Hello, Stan.
how are
Hey,
you doing?
Louis. Good. Spencer. Judy. Barbara fell over, huh?
Yeah, she did. She's hiding under her desk.
Can't get up.
She saw you coming.
Yep.
I'm back.
Oh, all right, all right. Hi, Barbara.
How are you getting along, Frank? You doing
I'm going
okay?
to go get my husband.
Doing all right.
away.
Have you ventured down to Columbia by any chance?
No.
Have you gotten
Yeah.
any response, Spencer, from them?
What's that?
Have you gotten any response from them?
No.
I struggle to find somebody, an officer with an email or a phone number. It's just,
Yeah, the only guy I know down there is with the funeral home.
oh, he hasn't been active in the club for several years.
Well,
That
okay.
leaves Pedro's son, who I haven't gotten in touch with yet either.
Okay.
He's superintendent, and I'm sure he's buried right now. But I really want to get up with him. I'm sort of waiting for the assistant governor to kind of take the lead in this.
Yeah.
But I would think that maybe we could have a club that would be countywide and focus on educators.
Well, I'm working on Plymouth,
Oh, good.
not too far away.
No.
Hey, Judy, can you hear me now?
Judy.
No, you're
She's on mute.
now, Judy. No,
She
there you
can't
go.
there you go.
Can you hear me? It's like
Get a picture and video, but no sound.
no video now. Excuse me. Patsy saw a
Yeah,
thing
that
on.
sounds like our Zoom meetings.
I'm going to have to wear a mask the way everyone's coughing here.
I know. I just swallowed wrong.
Don't have
Yeah.
a screen shield, Frank. You know,
He
you can put those
he
things-
swallowed a mosquito.
Patsy saw a thing on Facebook that said that most Zoom meetings are like seances used to be. Can you hear me now? Can you see me?
Pretty good.
That's a good
Judy,
thing.
you might want to log off and log back on. Sometimes that makes a big difference.
Yeah, she was on twice before, but
Oh,
here's Mr. Goodwin. Good.
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 hey, Mike.
Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Oh, did we wake you up or what?
That's now.
Howdy.
Howdy,
There you are. How are you, Mike?
Okay, I only give it a couple of minutes and then we're going to get started.
Okey doke.
Spencer, we went and gave our first mask out Monday. They were so excited.
Good.
We went to 7 different schools.
Super.
Wow.
How many did you give out?
We gave out 500. They're in a big box, and there's 500 in a box, and so we gave all 7 schools 1 box this time.
That's
That was
great.
3,500. So we're supposed to raise 20,000 of them at least.
That
And
is
so
super.
you would have thought that we gave them candy. They were so excited. But they're having to pay for it out of their pockets. So, you
Yeah,
know,
that's crazy.
I know.
Who's Jeffrey? Let's find out. Ah,
Hey, Melanie.
I did. Hi, Mel. I didn't recognize Jeffrey's iPad when it came up.
She can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Mel?
Turn your volume up, Mel.
Got it, finally.
Okay,
All right.
good. I was saying I didn't recognize Jeffrey's iPad when it came up. And going, who the hell is Jeffrey?
It's a Kiwanis
That's a-
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that happened down in Southern Shores, their town council meeting. 200 people came on all at once.
Oh,
And
wow.
started with profanities.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
That happened at our town council meeting too. Somebody hacked it,
Yeah.
and we
Yep.
had
Having
new
a pretty
pictures.
council.
So the following meeting, we had double the attendance.
I wanted to see what was going on. What did they miss? Oh, that's great.
Okay, I am going to hold this meeting to 45 minutes or less, because I know that at least 2 people on in here have been on Zoom most of the week, and it's
Preferably less than 45 minutes.
well, we'll see if we get it short. So here we are. I am recording it. The subject of the week is satellite clubs, and we have one official satellite club now, and that is thanks to Frank Jackwick.
My
The-
wife, actually, yep.
Yeah. uh, 2 years now, Frank?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have the paperwork going in on the second one, which is Washington Noon, is starting one up. They've had their meetings, they've got their paperwork filled out, and that paperwork will go in this week or next week, whenever.
Next week.
So that
Good
is
for you.
outstanding. We have a third one here at the Outer Banks from my club that we will have. We got a place for them to meet free of charge, and we should have an organizational meeting before the end of the month and have everything ready to go before Thanksgiving.
All right.
So
Nice.
the thing about satellite clubs is that it's a quick way to find new Rotarians and not having to dig up and work with some older clubs that, well, like Spencer will tell about his and why he did his, but I have a lot of Rotarians out here at the beach that cannot meet at a lunchtime. They're especially now, they're either with kids or obligated during their lunch hour, that a legacy club like mine and every other legacy club on the beach just is not fitting with what they're doing. So we have a goodly list. The first thing I want to show you is if I can share my screen. I don't want to stop recording. Where's my screen share? I'm sorry.
It's
The
up at the
meeting-
top. Oh, no, there it is. It's green usually on the bottom.
There it is. Now it's just popped up. And there, I want to show my Zoom page.
It says Zoom.
Okay, here's
Oh,
a quick, I'm going to only share part of this video, but I'll scroll down on this website up here. Can you can see that website now?
Yes.
Zone 33 Innovative Club Advocates.
Okay, but it's the Zone 33 -34.org. This is a great place to go for resources for membership and a lot of other stuff. The Zone 33 and 34 folks have put together a bunch of stuff that's easy to get to. Just search for it and it pops up. This young man here put together, he's a professional videographer. He's put together 5 films right now, short films about what people have done to make new and different types of clubs. So we're going to watch just a little bit of what Megan here has to say about what she's doing. So this is a 20-minute, we might watch 5 or 6 minutes of it. So get your popcorn.
Rotary certainly has some membership challenges. However, there are people who are thinking creatively and seeing membership grow. We're going to talk to these inventive Rotarians and get some tips that you can try. Welcome to the Innovative Clubs videocast. Hey folks, Andy Van Hook here, Zone 33 ARC. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Megan Shanker-Fulcher. She is the chair of the Rocktown Rotary Satellite Club in District 7570, and they are located in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Megan, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks, Andy.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your satellite club. Why did you want to start a satellite club, and talk a little bit about what your connection was to Rotary before you even decided to start a satellite club?
Yeah, so I actually am connected by Rotary with my husband. So Keston Fulcher is part of the Harrisonburg Rotary Club. And he is one of the things that I just love most about him, and one of the things that really attracted him to our relationship was that he was really into community service. And so he introduced me to Rotary and to all of the events. So I went with him to district conference. I did a few things with Rotaract with him. One of my favorite memories, actually recalling, is the Strawberry Festival, and I helped the Strawberry Festival making these chocolate covered strawberries. And I just got to meet all these people, and it was really fun connecting with everybody. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to be part of this for Harrisonburg and for the community. So I was really interested in becoming a member, and I was really trying to pave my own way here because Keston lived in Harrisonburg for quite a while, and I was a transplant. I had moved from Charlottesville when we had gotten married in 2017, and was really trying to find a different Rotary Club. But all of the Rotary Clubs were meeting in the morning, or they were meeting in the afternoon during lunchtime, and I'm a school teacher, so that was just not a possibility for me at all to try to do that, to you know, get off and go meet every week. And that was the other piece, was that it was every week, so it was a really big commitment. And then the other piece to it was the structure of the money. It was pretty expensive for both of us to do Rotary. And then the other piece is when I actually went to the actual meeting. So it was a little different. I had done the community service piece, and I had done the district conference and had seen a lot of people. But when I went to the actual meetings, there was just a lot of men, and there was a lot of people who didn't necessarily look like me and didn't come from the same background in terms of teaching. And so it just didn't feel the same fit that I wanted it to. So I was like, well, how am I going to make this work? And I'm a bit of a pusher. And so I was like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this work. So I had talked to you, Andy, and I had talked to Sue's, was the president at the time. And I said, so can I just make my own club? And you both were like, yeah, let's do it. So that's kind of how it started. And I think I probably got off track. There was another question to this answer?
I think, no, you're off to a great start. That's perfect. That we can roll right into the next question, because I think that kind of encapsulated everything really nicely there. So talk about what it looked like and how you started to build it from the ground up before your first official meeting. So what did you do? You know, you kind of brought us to the point where you had the idea, and you've gotten some good thumbs up, green light from, you know, the parent club. And so what were your next steps? How did you take it from there?
So I actually set myself a date. I was thinking, okay, I really would like to try to do this in a year. I was really taking that I took about 8 months or so to really finalize things and get things together. So one of the things was talking to Sue and see if that was a possibility, and then talking with Andy, you, and then also talking to Jeremy, actually, the district governor at that time. He kind of needed to be part of that process too, just to figure out if this was even a possibility for us, and in which club, because there's so many wonderful clubs here in Harrisonburg, which club wanted us in a way to host us. So we were trying to figure that piece out. One of the other important pieces that I knew just in my own leadership is I wanted 2 women to be with me to start this, because I knew that it was such a big undertaking. It was really important for me to have 2 passionate women who were part of the community who could also help recruit people, because that was really, I mean, we were going on the bottom here. We were going from the grassroots to try to recruit people. So I really wanted to make sure I had 3 people in this leadership team to start. Even though in a satellite club, you couldn't just have a chair, and you don't really necessarily have to have anyone else, but I just thought that was really important. And then we actually set up info sessions. And so we had 3 info sessions in the summertime, just to try to get some interest. And we also used Facebook. That was really important to recruit people, to get people interested. And then we had word of mouth that helped us get people. And so those info sessions were a chance for us to just meet and get together. We provided food and alcohol, because that's always really helpful. I know food brings people, so
That's right.
I'm a school teacher. I know how that works. So I was like, this is really important. So that helped get people interested. And then we just basically spent some time with them and had some fellowship and told them the story of why we were doing this, and got a lot of people on board from that.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, that's just one of the 5 that are on there. The others talk about, got a couple people waiting to get in. Judy's back again, and Ed.
Right.
So that
Unmute, Judy. Judy, can you hear us? You're on mute.
You hear me
Don't
now?
you love technology?
there you go. Hey, Ed.
Hey,
Welcome, Ed. So those films at that website, really, that one was about satellite clubs. There's one about cause-based clubs, talking about a club centered around veterans and veterans issues. There is one about a passport club, which is a district club down in Southwest Virginia, that they don't do any fundraisers. All they do is support other clubs in the district with their manpower.
Wow.
And it's started out as a satellite club, turned into an e-club because people across the district wanted in on it. Really an alternative type club for people that didn't want everything that went with a legacy club, our typical Rotary Club, but still wanted to volunteer and get involved in projects.
Stan, could we consider Zoom clubs as sort of a subset of an e-club?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Yeah, I think there may be some clubs that when this is over will continue being predominantly Zoom.
Yeah. So there's also in DC, being tons of people available in DC, they started I can't remember the name of it exactly now, but it's centered around world peace. Mostly young people, most of them happen to be female, most of them work for the World Bank. And
we have a lot of Rotary Peace Scholars in that organization.
And they started their own club, a world global e-club, just focused on peace and peace efforts. And their big thing is to offer their knowledge out to other clubs and organizations, because that's what they do in their job, is to build projects, work on conflict, and create educational information to educate people on conflicts. So they're using their knowledge background as a resource for other clubs and other organizations, not Rotary. All kinds of things are happening. It's really exciting time to be a district membership chair, and I also carry that hat as an innovative club activist. Nobody's ever accused me of being an activist before, but an A word, but not activist. That's a family joke. So
we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, thank you.
Stan, the lady in the video was what I would call a champion. She wasn't going to let anything stop her, and those are rare individuals indeed.
Right, and those are treasures. And you can see, if you watch all of those videos, I've watched 3 of the 5 so far, and there's more to come. And if you know somebody like this, Andy Van Hook is looking to film them, just to get real world experiences out there that people can go, look, oh, this person did that, and how they did it. And as an example, Governor, how did you go about starting your satellite club?
Well, many of you may know, but the Washington Noon Club is pretty much packed into King Chicken. We have about 83 or 84 members. We have no room to grow. Right. The only thing we can do is wait for somebody to leave and fill their spot. The evening club has some room to grow, and I'm trying to help them get some new members too. But I said, we need a breakfast club. We need a different club. And the easiest way to do that to me was a satellite club. You only need 8 people. And how did I do it? I put together a list like I did before, and people that were potential Rotarians, people I'd like to see in the club. And I asked them if they'd be interested in hearing a little bit more about what Rotary is. And I told them the Rotary story. Sometimes I did it on Zoom. Sometimes we just got together and I flipped open my laptop and went through a little PowerPoint and, went through the story of Rotary and what Washington Noon does, what the Washington Evening Club does. And what we want to try and do is start a new club with different rules. And so, I've got some folks interested. I've got the satellite club application right here. I've got all my membership stuff here. We've got our next meeting on the Wednesday, the 21st, and we'll be up and running. So mine really wasn't any different than the lady we just heard from. We had some info sessions where I just talked about what Rotary is and what we do. I did get one candidate that, I was posting Rotary stuff on Facebook, and she instant messaged me and said, how do I get involved? I said, hey, show up next Wednesday morning. I'll go through it all. So she is.
Might be your champion.
She may be. She's a little feisty gal, I'll tell you that much. Right now,
Careful there.
one of the guys that's in the morning club happens to own King Chicken. He's the new owner.
There you
And
go.
let me get in on this stuff. So I said, great. Guess what? We're going to have it at your place. And so, that's what we're doing. Now they do. Some of them have already told me they don't want to be a satellite. They want to be a full-fledged club. And I said, you're going to need 25 to 30 people. He said, that won't take long. I said, well, good. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Good for you.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the plan. And I'd like to think before the end of this Rotary year, they'll be up to a full club. I hope they will be. And then, we've got I got a email from a former Rotarian out of Wilmington, I believe, who now lives in Plymouth. He's a principal of the early college high school. He said, I'd like to start an Interact club. I said, well, I'll be more than happy to get that started. So I put him in touch with Williamston. They've gone ahead and sponsored his Interact club. And he said, why don't we have a club in Plymouth? I said, well, we used to. Why don't you help me and I'll help you start one? So he's checking around. He's got a few contacts, and we're going to have a meeting up in Plymouth in the next couple of weeks and see if we can't get a satellite club started there, a satellite of Williamston. And then obviously I'm going to get with Tony Santori and anybody else. We're going to run around Aurora and see if we can't get one started out there. So it's easier to start with only 8 people. I mean, crying out loud, if I can't find 8 people interested in helping their community, I'm in the wrong job. So, it just takes a little bit of hustle. That's really about it. But it's really easy to do. Much easier than I thought. And then, I had a couple questions. I could email Stan and say, what about this? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, and then you get Frank. They're the first satellite club in the district. You got some great people to contact. So,
yeah.
But it is easy. I'm sending the application in to Marnie Nixon, and we'll be off and rolling.
Marnie Nixon's awesome.
Oh, she's a fireball. Let me tell you what, she's a lifesaver. Yeah, she really is.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's basically the story. I'm not stopping with Washington. We're going to keep it rolling, but I want to get more of these things going. We've planted the seeds in Plymouth. If we can get that one going, that'll be good. And I mean, he knows some good people up there. He knows the school superintendent here in my town. He's a good guy to know. So we'll get one going in Plymouth. I'm pretty sure we'll at least get a satellite club. Hopefully, eventually, a full chartered club. Aurora, it may only be a satellite club. We'll see how many people we can get out there. But I've got Ray McKeith at Nutrient. He's going to help me out, and they got 1,500 employees. I'd like to think he can find a few out there. So.
Yeah, that'd be a great place for a company club.
Well, they really need help in Aurora, and Nutrient's pretty much the only dog in town, but they help all over the place. So,
yeah.
So anyway, that's all I've got.
Well, That's a lot.
Stan, or, Spencer, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We
Does
look alike. It's
that
okay.
Nutria have an employees club?
Can they?
No, do they?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And Ray McKeithen's like the I don't know. He's not the number one guys out there. He's probably maybe the number 3 guy. He travels all over the 6 or 7 states for Nutrien. He's their public affairs and government interaction guy. But he knows tons of people, and his wife's in my club. You know, Robin. So I mean, yeah, and he sponsors our Smoke on the Water thing every year. I said, why don't you do something out in Aurora, for crying out loud? So he's already talked the lady in charge of the Aurora Fossil Museum. She's interested in being in the club. So we'll get a few folks out there. I just need to run around for a couple of days and meet people and tell the story.
That'd be a good program we could send around the Fossil Museum. I don't think 9 out of 10 people know it exists.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You can send around pictures of us, Frank. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, you look under a rock and there's our image, right?
Really prehistoric.
Some worse than others.
So,
But
yeah.
Spencer, there's also a lot of farmers out there around Aurora. That's we've got a lot of clients for T crop insurance out there. The Peed Brothers, their father, Owen Peel. There's a lot of big, 1,000 to 2,000 acre farmers out there.
Yeah, and that's always been a traditional thing that we've kind of missed here in our district is the ag business.
Yep.
Well, that's always been the Rurton Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're struggling.
Yeah.
I think there's opportunity there.
Yeah.
And it may be the related items to agriculture, maybe not necessarily the
Start a
farmer.
satellite club for farmers.
I'm sorry, Spencer, what?
I was talking to Lewis whether he could start a satellite club for farmers out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a possibility. Something that have to be kind of creative with it. You're meeting, how do you meet, that kind of stuff, and how could you do it? I can envision something. We've had some farmers in and out of our club actually. The problem is they can normally only meet in the winter, January to March, and other than that, they seem very busy, and that includes any of your standard meeting times. That's breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
I go one here in town is going to be joining our breakfast club or the satellite club because it is in the morning. He said, I can't go at noon. I can't go in the afternoon. I'm out farming, but I can be there in the breakfast. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just kind of one of the items and probably the easiest for us to hit. I have some things that are going on, and you'll see it if you watch a couple of those videos on the cause-based clubs. It's unbelievable how some of these things take off. The Veterans Club that I was talking about, the first one was in Minnesota. There's already one in the Northern Virginia area that has over 35 members in only 2 months of bringing the subject up. We have, it just kind of came to me when I was thinking about this meeting of what, not necessarily focusing on veterans, but what other groups. And we're, for some reason here at the Outer Banks, we have a large group of retired firefighters. A lot of firefighters from the Hampton Roads area retire down here. And there isn't really anything a focus group around retired firefighters or veteran firefighters out here. So we do have the chief of the Kitty Hawk Fire Department in our club. So I'm going to approach him about how that might work to get a community of those people and people that care about them together as a satellite club to start with or something bigger.
Yeah.
It's kind of a free-for-all right now as far as the big picture of Rotary International is concerned, but it's a golden opportunity to bring people that have that Rotary heart together and get them hooked and active in Rotary. In my 15 minutes I have left, the other thing that I want to share, and I sent out to all of you, is the Terry Weaver email. I sent it out. I got it on Tuesday, sent it out to all of you. Some of you, a couple of you here get it automatically anyway. But what is going to happen? Like our club right now is sitting at -1 for the year, and it's a bit of a numbers game, but we always want to continue to grow. So what happens? Frank knows this. Spencer knows this all too well. Let's see. Let's change screens here and go to here. Everybody can see my Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let me full screen this for you really quick. Okay, this is when you open that up, that email up, and it says this is the 2021 data. If you look down, here's Northeast North Carolina, District 7720, and this is what happened last week. We were 0. Okay, if you look up and down the whole zone, there was only one district, Southeast North Carolina, that gained any members. So we were at 0, which is good, and then up here, Southeast Virginia was also at 0. That's one way to look at it. If you look at what happens, this is good news for us that we're only -1. But what happens coming up in a couple months in December? Oh, this won't show it. Let me go back a couple years and look at graphs. And what happens every December?
Oh, yep.
Is right here.
Yep.
Clubs clean their books. And to me, this December is extremely scary because clubs will be cleaning their books for that January 1 invoice coming out from RI. And there's going to be a lot of clubs that say, well, these people haven't paid their dues, yada, yada, yada. A lot of club members are going to say, well, I don't think I'm ever going back. I need to quit now. And that is really, really scary for me. The other scary part is at the end of the Rotary year, you need a huge cushion to prevent this from killing you at the end of the year. Those green dots there, that's the success track. If you're up there, you're going to lose 2% here, or 1% here, and then 2% guaranteed here. Just from people cleaning their books. If you go through all the districts, you kind of see the same hump at the year end. Look at that drop off at the year end. I was so amazed because I wasn't watching this until the very end of my year of 17, 18. And oh my God, you could watch it by the hour, people leaving. And it was horrendous. It was scary as hell. So you know, being at -1 is not a bad thing, but we don't have a cushion for December. Just to be aware of that and to not be shocked when something comes. And you can share this. You know, here's a Raleigh that year. 18, 19, and look at that nice smooth curve just above the success track, and they came out really well ahead, you know, plus about 30 people, 35 people.
We've got to grow now,
yes,
through the spring to have a big enough cushion so you just don't drop off the cliff at the end of the year.
Lee Hudson was the membership chair for that district that year, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, a great person that many of us know. But those are, you know, it is just a number. But our history that I think I've presented to almost all of you, the history of the district is with a couple positive humps in there, but they were very small. They weren't even speed bumps. Uh, they wouldn't stop the train from rolling downhill. So we're trying to get this back in order to get it flattened and then headed back up. And down the road, I expect Rotary to reorganize their districts. I've heard rumors, and they're only rumors, but I do know that if a district gets down to 1,200 or a little bit lower and is on a declining mode, they will combine that district in a heartbeat.
Yep.
The money that Rotary spends on a district is a lot. And if they can get that same money spent and cover it with one less district governor, they'll do it without hesitation. I can't blame them. That happened to West Virginia 2 years ago, I think it was.
Yep.
Northern and Southern West
Pennsylvania.
Virginia were two districts, and they combined them.
Yeah. And they start moving districts to different zones as well.
Yeah, they've done that. We got Western Pennsylvania,
Right.
3 districts, just to balance zones. And what's happening, this is a very, very big picture that has some people here in the U.S. concerned that Rotary in Asia and Africa is growing immensely. And in Europe and the US, North America, it's declining slowly. The number of districts are kind of mandated by the number of Rotarians, and each district has a director, which is part of the board of Rotary International. And if we get fewer zones, we get fewer board members from North America. And they don't want to see the headquarters for RI move from Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been talking. India would love to have the headquarters in New Delhi or something. Let me tell you, there's a 2-year waiting list to get into clubs over there. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, and they're typically 1%ers too. It's like Rotary in the 50s in the U.S.
Yeah.
When we had the Japanese exchange folks over here, the team leader stayed with us, and he was saying, what are your dues here? And I told him, he about flipped out. He said, "Are you kidding me? His dues are through the roof." But that's what it is. It's a big deal to be in Rotary. We got to get back to that culture a little bit. It's really a great thing to be in this organization. And
I wonder how many of us in this meeting would be in Rotary if they had the dues structure like they have in Japan, though.
You don't know.
Probably not me. Yeah. So that's just kind of a heads up, kind of a 10,000 foot view, so you'll have it. And just here very quickly, anything happening in the areas that we haven't talked about? Lewis, anything happening up there?
No, not really that I know about. I haven't had good contact with the clubs, and I need to do a little better job of that. Back and forth. We are adding a new member in Windsor again, so this is our second one in 2 months.
Woo-hoo!
So we're kind of moving along.
Good. Frank, what about Area 2?
Well, my club is going to do a meet and greet kind of thing, and as you know, they applied for a grant. I had to remind them that we don't just give them a bag of money; that they had to do the due diligence. So when I got that, I resent it to the other clubs and said, this is still available, and
Good.
It's probably a good idea that all of us maybe consider at least sending an email out to the presidents and the membership chairs of your respective clubs, and send Stan's information out that just because we're meeting by Zoom doesn't mean we can't add members and do either a reality or virtual reality type meeting or something. Send information out, all kind of things. Our club has been asked each member to submit 5 names, and we're putting together a consolidated list, and I think we're going to do something at least to let those folks know what we're up to. And my list consisted primarily of people in leadership positions in local and county government, because we're shy of that in our club.
Excellent.
We were pretty heavy in that.
Good.
Elizabeth City and both clubs seem to be doing well. They're adding one or two and or holding their own.
I've heard that they're thinking of combining a couple clubs up there.
Well, one club mentioned that, and the other club said, "Hell no."
All right.
They're very different.
Yeah.
You know, one's a check writing club, and the other, give me a hammer club, and never the twain shall meet. They each have their place, and you know, that bank manager doesn't want to be sitting over there with the guy running a local gas station. So,
All right.
All right. Ed, anything happening down there?
Yeah, we've had a couple of clubs that have lost or gained one, but we had a real gold star winner. Havelock had 6 members. They up a total of 6. And
they had a satellite club going for a while, didn't they?
Not that I remember.
That was a while ago. They were talking
it could have
about
been before me.
Yeah.
But it was primarily the work of the club president, who's also serves as the membership chair.
Cool.
His technique was to recruit people from the Chamber of Commerce. But anyway, for the month of September, they were up by 6, and the zone, our area was what we were up. The others kind of balanced themselves off, gained a couple. Still a little bit concerned about Oriental. We still have a bunch of people that are on LOAs, and I know there are a couple that are going to wind up dropping. Some are health issues, and some is just father time. Catching up to people.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It reminded me of I pulled my back out 2 weeks ago, and it's went back to the gym yesterday and pulled it again. Judy, what's happening? Do you have any idea what's going on out there?
Well, we're still trying.
Okay.
It's really hard to get someone that will be a membership chair for their club. You know, even in my own club, Wilson Rotary, that's difficult. And in years past, we've had someone, but they never did anything. It was just in name only. Might as well say it as it is. But this year, our president, Janice, has tried to get someone that will volunteer, and no luck. But we do have a new member that's coming in, and that's a good thing, you know, because if you've looked at the numbers, our club is one that's going down. You know, it's always gone back, but it just keeps going one at a time, you know, for different reasons, you know, with age, and people can't meet at lunchtime and different things. But I mean, we've got 53 now, and I just don't remember it ever being 53 before. But anyway, at least we got one member coming in. But it's still hard to get someone that will hook on to wanting to be a membership chair or just work with me on membership. And especially now, you know, they use the reasoning of the virus and not meeting, you know, the usual things. But we're still trying.
Okay, keep it up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And
Don't ever give up.
Yeah, think about the satellite club. If you know people need an alternative time meeting, it doesn't have to be an official satellite club, folks. It can just be a group of members from your club that can't meet at the normal time. Let them meet at an evening. That's how ours here at First Flight started, and then they decided they wanted to be an official satellite.
They're based on itself, huh?
Yeah. So, you know, I got 3 people to join, and they said, well, we don't want a traditional club. And I said, we'll work something out. Just go ahead and join and shut up. And they did for some reason. But they're not showing up at the traditional meetings either because they can't do noons. So it's tough. So keep at it, Judy. We'll support you. Mike, you talked to any of the other clubs?
I left a message for Wayne Price to get back with me on
Plymouth.
On Plymouth, and I think I was waiting to hear back from you on whether he had joined the Williamston Club, and never heard anything. And so I reached out to him and hadn't heard anything back, but it sounds like Spencer's, he's been in contact with Spencer. So, as far as the other clubs, no, I have been juggling between trying to finish up a class and if anybody hasn't figured it out, in 3 weeks we got a presidential election, and in my business, everybody and his brother is calling and wanting to know what they should do with their investment accounts, and so I've been trying to put fires out with all of that. So
ride the wave, ride the wave.
Yeah, well, it's easier. It's real easy to say to people. It's not so easy to get them sometimes to listen. But but no, we're in our club. We're gearing up for our election day barbecue. We just sent off the check to Barnes and Nobles to get our dictionaries. So we'll be as soon as we get those back, we'll be taking those to the local schools for the third graders, and just preparing for our dinner dance in February. We are assuming that we'll be open for that.
You have a date for that yet, Mike?
February 6th.
February 6th. Okay.
February 6th.
I'm putting it on the calendar.
Yeah, and so we're still gearing up for it, depending on, what is said from Raleigh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all just kind of have to wait on that. But we picked up a new member, just under, for right now, just under Friends of Rotary, just to make sure that, we wanted to make sure that, affordability wise, it worked well for her. And she's taking the bull by the horns. I mean, she came on over to the office and grabbed up all the posters for our election day barbecue and put them all over town, and has been talking to a couple of business owners she knows about joining Rotary. So she just jumped right in with both feet, grabbed up a bunch of tickets, went around and sold them, and came back and got some more. So it was just. That's like, man, honey, where have you been my whole life? I mean, she just jumped. She just it's Dana.
Don't tell them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, well, she lives in Belhaven, so she ain't going to Washington.
No. I just want to call her.
Dana Brown.
Okay.
But she's and what we're really trying to push as well for us is the Friends of Rotary, to try to get people in the door. The cost is a little bit less for them, but I'm working with my niece right now about coming on as a Friend of Rotary. She's in college, and she's going to be going on a study program this coming June to Korea. And told her, I said, you need to, she loves doing civic work, and I said, you need to join Rotary, even just under Friends of Rotary, because she's a college student right now. But I told her, I said, you get to Korea for that month or two. I said, they know you're a Rotarian. I said, you're gonna get a whole lot more access to things than you could ever possibly imagine. So, but we've got some good things going with our club.
Good. Most excellent. I'm past time. Unbelievable. I went over my own limit. Anybody have questions? Frank?
Stan, I just was, sometimes you get on the internet and you see something on the side that interests you, and it was kind of about World War II.
Yeah, but I don't click on those anymore, Frank.
All right. Well, Douglas MacArthur was, speaking of the pandemic, he was having a great time in the Philippines until the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. Yeah. But by the end of that conflict, he became a hero. And there's opportunities in this pandemic to do good things. So
he was also, just a little side note on that, when the Manila Club of Rotary, the Rotary Manila Club, their last meeting before the occupation was on Corregidor Island.
Yeah.
Just before Corregidor surrendered, and their last order of business was to make Douglas MacArthur an honorary Rotarian.
That's great.
And of course the Rotary Club was shut down until until 46. But so I always thought that was an interesting side note as they're getting bombed and artilleried by the Japanese in Malenta Tunnel. That was their final act as a Rotary Club before they shut down.
Cool.
And he came back and invented.
Yes, he did too. And was loved by the Philippine people until the day he died.
Barbara, do you have anything that you need from us as a group that we need to be doing better for you?
Oh, yes.
Don't bug her so much.
Records. And even when I try to help some folks out, point out what's wrong and how to fix it, I'll fix it for you if you just give me a date. I still can't get them to respond. And it drives me nuts when I have a list of things that I can't get rid of. So, I used to have the power just to fire them, but I don't have the power anymore.
Yeah,
I keep being reminded these are volunteers.
Yeah, it's hard that way.
September into June.
But,
Yeah.
that really is one of the biggest things, is just the records.
Seeing you, Mike.
Yep, see y'all.
All right, guys, I
Thanks for
appreciate
joining
it. This is recorded, so if you want to watch the whole thing or pass it on to friends and neighbors, and please look at those resources. Thanks, guys.
Take care, Stan.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Seeing you, Spencer.
Stan.
Luck with your club.